Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and I'm going to talk XRP. And I'm going to talk if you've been in this space for a while. I think I have some new information that'll be interesting for you. And if you're brand new to this space, well, I'm going to do my best to bring you right up to speed. So what's the big deal about remittances? Well, it's a pretty easy answer, especially when you look at SWIFT. They moved over 77 trillion in 2019. This was announced on February 11th. And their cross-border global payments innovation, which is often referred to as GPI, almost doubled from 40 trillion that they moved in 2018. Icon Solutions, a financial solutions company whose clients include BNP Paribas, Citibank, Bank of America, HSBC, and Lloyd's, they put together a very informative 12-page analysis on distributed ledger technology, DLT, and the revolution in cross-border payments. It's on page 5 that breaks down the improvements that SWIFT GPI has made for cross-border payments. However, with GPI, there are still many pain points. You have to have a dependency on operating hours still. Secondly, it does not reduce settlement risk of a counterparty that fails to deliver on its payment obligations. It still relies on this complex and costly correspondent banking agreement. So it does not eliminate the cost of trapped liquidity. This is where banks that have partners all over the world, sometimes 200 different banking partners, they will take their money and put it with that correspondent bank so that they have the liquidity available should they have a cross-border remittance that comes up in that corridor. And this is, it's not easy for a lot of banks now that are trying to mitigate their risk, especially when it comes to the foreign exchange fluctuations. This is really evident when you look at the last 3 years, what happened to the British pound and the Canadian dollar. And just today, we see that the yen has slipped further to a 10-month low as the dollar strengthens broadly. Yeah, it's just not the yen either. So this is the kind of risk that all the banks would like to alleviate. Now, if you're still a little confused about how XRP, the digital asset, works, about 6 days ago, Ripple uploaded this 2-page PDF. It's very simple, and it breaks down the actual process in a 10-step, easy-to-understand procedure, and I will just put a link to this in the description below so that if you're still a little fuzzy, you can reference that. Okay, now let's talk Mexico. I want to talk Mexico because everybody's talking about Mexico, and we should be talking about Mexico because the focus is there. Well, it's a major, major corridor for Ripple, and that is because they have the liquidity flowing with many users now, and those users are tapping into XRP to eliminate the pain points that I just talked about. Bitso, the Ripple exchange partner founder, Daniel Vogel, said 2 months ago that at the start of 2020, he thought that 5% of all remittances from the US to Mexico will be in cryptocurrencies. This is really quite something because we learned from Brad Garlinghouse in the interview that he had with CNN, Julia Chatterley on First Move, that actually last week Ripple had 54 million of XRP flows into Mexico. That's 7.5% of all flows from US to the Mexican peso, the US dollar to the Mexican peso. So it's growing very quickly. Now, here's a company that didn't get on board. That's Western Union, and they are the largest standalone money transfer player. But I think they thought they were just too big to fail. They announced their annual results just this last week, and as the article says, it's not going anywhere. In fact, I mean, literally going nowhere. Their overall growth for years has just been noticeably horrible. In fact, the Asia Pacific and the Latin American corridors is shrinking. And that is exactly where Ripple is so strong, because those are emerging parts of the world that are just on fire. So they have actually, over the last 5 years, lost 62% in the Asia Pacific region and 16% in the Latin America region. And don't forget that the Ripple partner MoneyGram, they are going to announce their earnings on the 25th of this month. I know everybody is sitting on the edge of their seat for that. All right, so now back to Swift. In this article, you can see that Ripple could take billions from Swift. And this is citing the deal that Naveen Gupta just closed earlier this week with the oldest and largest bank in Egypt. Ripple has the potential to revolutionize their economy, this article says. With their floating currency policy, remittances are 30% in the sources for foreign currency to Egypt. It's very, very important for Egypt's economy. And since we're talking about Naveen Gupta, he'll be a speaker at the BAFT 2020 in Dubai on March 19th. This is a Ripple-sponsored event, and he'll be on a panel with IBM and Visa talking about distributed ledger technology and crypto-enabled payments. I'm very interested, of course, to see if we get a little bit of tape on this when it is, listen to my little bit of tape. If we get some digital stream from this event, how funny, you know, we just get so stuck in ways that we have been thinking. I still use that word even when it comes to recording digitally with my Netflix. Okay, so countries that have this on-demand liquidity, look at this, available now in 25 countries. That is the XRP remittance network that is live in the 25 countries across the globe. If you're curious what they are, because you see here, it's in the darkened blue area. It's US, UK, Mexico, Philippines, France, Spain, Australia, Ireland, Iceland, Sweden, Finland, Norway, Italy, Germany, Denmark, Austria, the Czech, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Bulgaria, Latvia, Estonia, Romania, and Greece. That's a lot of countries, but it's still growing. So Ripple is in 70 plus countries, and XRP is now available. We've got on-demand liquidity availability in those 25 countries. Okay, let's see. Where am I going to take you? Oh, I'm going to take you to something kind of funny. This is Catherine Coley. She is, of course, with Binance US now. She was the XRP institutional liquidity manager for a couple of years at Ripple. Look at this. Look at her face. Yeah, she's, I think, you know, having to, it's so sad that she's got to do so much explanation on a kindergarten level with people who are doing the power lunch on CNBC. Oh, I mean, I know that most people watching this video, they're pretty deep into this subject, and it all seems, you know, like the norm, but still we have people that just are just not getting it still. And this guy, what's really amazing is that this guy is actually part of the CNBC Power Lunch host. I just can't believe that the people in this space are still so far behind. Okay, I think I'm going to take you, yeah, to the fluff. Oh, this is Waka Ichiro. And just like that, no more Americans left in sumo. He was the sole remaining wrestler from the US. He's now hanging it up, and returning back to Houston. His history and his story is very unique. He was born Ichiro Kendrick Young, and he decided to join sumo in August 2016 after he graduated getting his associate's degree. His mom is Japanese, so he spoke the language, which I think made it a little bit easier for him to move here. Actually, he spent a lot of time visiting his grandmother in, I think it was Nagasaki. I hope that's right. And so he was familiar with the country, and he was very much a popular guy with all the young girls. He lived at the Musashigawa stable, and that is a stable that also was the home for 18 other wrestlers. You have to understand, look how stylish he is here in his purple. I mean, that is just, we use the word kakoi, which means cool. It is so kakoi. I just love his style. But if you are a low-ranked wrestler, which I think he was still a low-ranked wrestler, you are really busy. Your day starts very early, and you've got a ton of chores, including cooking and the wash and preparing the stable for that 3-hour workout and practice that everybody attends. It's really a full day of chores. And that 3-hour practice, if you do come to Tokyo, you can visit some of the stables. They are open to having people sit quietly, and usually no pictures, and definitely no signatures, and definitely no Instagram shots. You have to just be very quiet and don't make any noise, but you can sit and watch the morning workouts. And I do encourage you to try to do that. If they're not away at a tournament, you'll find that there are probably, oh gosh, I don't know, 20 different stables in Tokyo alone. Yeah, I think so. So it's not hard, and it's all online, and you can double check. But I just want to say goodbye and thanks to Waka Ichiro. I will miss you, and I do wish you luck. And I saw on your Twitter feed that you are going to do your best in the next chapter of your life, and I wish you only the best. Okay, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.